Oh, camera's the wrong way. Good morning, everyone. It's my morning greetings, I guess, before I set up at my tree and do my talk. I had no idea what I wanted to talk about today, and then my brother called me 5 o'clock in the morning to tell me that when I say something I regret, I gotta stop focusing on it and trying to explain it and covering it for myself and stuff and just say it. So when he told me that, I thought, okay, today's talk's about confidence. Even though I don't really think it comes from, I'm getting better with confidence and stuff like that. But I think that is more, I want people to work on themselves, and I want them to be better equipped, and I want them to actually go and do it. So I'm afraid when I say something stupid or something I regret, right? I'm afraid of them shutting down and not getting anything I'm saying, which maybe that is a little bit of lack of confidence, and I just need to not care, because there's a lot of people that I'm getting through to, and they're messaging me and telling me all the ways that they started working on themselves and building community. It's awesome. It's exactly what I wanted. This is so great. But yeah, so I'm gonna talk about confidence, because that's a big thing about working on yourself, and basically saying yes and no. I'll go into that more when I set up on the tree. But I also, now I want to talk about something, but as long as it stays for those of you seen, I want to talk about the increasing tension in the world with governments. We talk about divide and stuff between people, but I want to talk specifically about this. As long as we can keep it in a place of, not dreading, not getting hopeless, not thinking what's the point, because we faced global war before as a people, and maybe best case scenario, a second Cold War, but that's just gonna make things a lot tougher. So if you don't have the other motivation I've been talking about, that should be some motivation to start getting some things squared away. But yeah, good morning, Zach. I saw you commented the other day. That's awesome. Tyler, John, Mom, Nana, I guess. Hope you guys all are having a good day, or whenever you watch this. Yeah, the intros this is why I stopped doing the full walking things, because it's hard for me to talk and breathe. I'm going through some pretty deep snow. It snowed last night, so I'm gonna go to my tree and we'll start the talk then. There. That set up pretty well today. So anyway, confidence. Specifically saying no when you should say no, and yes when you should say yes. Discussion. I'm going to tell you what I think. If you agree or you disagree, let me know. But I'm going to start with saying no, because this is something I've started implementing, and it feels good. But I think that a lot of us have been let down in life, and so we're afraid to let other people down. So we say yes to things when we should really say no, and it can make your life hell. I know from experience, because I was one of those people. But again, I'm out here working on stuff, figuring stuff out. So that's changing, and I've noticed a positive change. So if you feel like that's you, let's work on this. So yeah, I'll give a simple example, because this can get into some tough stuff. It's not just, but I have a client that I really like, and I'm getting a lot of work from him and stuff, but he asked me about a tile job, and I can do tile. I can do it very well. I'm awesome at it, but I hate it. It stresses me out more than I need to be stressed. And part of me, I was a little bit I didn't want to let him down. He's a friend of a good friend of mine. But yeah, I know this won't. Josh called me and told me to stop doing this. I don't care. I'm just going to talk. But yeah, we all do that. And then we have a hard time saying no to people. And I think a part of that is because we have a hard time being told no as well. It hurts us when we're told no. So that's something else we could, at the same time, work on telling people no, and work on taking know better. There's you don't have to do this one, but when I was scrolling through I can't remember where I seen it, was on social media. There's a guy that was saying, like, wherever he goes, when he gets a cup of coffee or whenever he's buying something, he just says, "Hey, can I get 10% off?" Like nine times out of 10 they say no, but it's like an exercise for him to help him with rejection and help him be told no, which it will in turn, I think, help people say no. And now the other part of this is saying yes when you should say yes. Completely different problem, stems from probably completely different wounds, right? By the way, anything you think you struggle with or that I'm talking about, let's work on together kind of thing, 9 times out of 10 it's from something that hurt you as a kid. Like, just from everything I've seen, experienced, talked about, and felt like myself. So, what is that big red bar? Oh, I gotta start cleaning up my phone. I only have 59 minutes. I don't think I'm gonna be that long, so. So saying yes, like, there's some things that, people invite you to go do something cool, something that you've always been interested in, but you got that fear. Or, because of what I'm talking about, like working on yourself, working on community, there's some things, like some steps that you want to take, but you're too afraid to say yes to them. Sometimes you got to do things afraid. Just because you're afraid doesn't mean don't do it. Like, do it afraid. And again, like, we're gonna talk about this, guys. Like, comment some, tell me what's bothering you, what you're trying to work on, and we'll work on solutions together. But and all of, like, everything's gonna fit the theme of bettering yourself, so that you are strong and square and healthy enough to help people better themselves, and in turn, like, on and on and on. But so right now the theme is confidence. I covered a few things like fitness and knowing yourself, and like, I know a lot of people just want to get the 1-minute clips in, or scroll through, and some of my earlier videos are a little bit tougher to listen to, between the mic and me getting more confident. And like, I think the other videos I'm talking really low and slow. Now I'm louder and faster. So, but no. And for those of you who didn't see the intro, or this is a clip or something, I want to also talk about global tension and conflict, because yesterday I asked what some people's motivations are. Like, why do you want to get fit, healthy, stuff like that. And I haven't been completely 100%. Like, for me, like, yeah, it's being better for myself and for my family and my community and stuff like that. But part of that is, I honestly believe things are going to get tough. I think they already are tough. I talked about it in a previous video, like, some people's worlds are falling apart right now, and it's only getting worse. And it's easier to deal with tough times when you know yourself and you got everything squared away, like, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually, right? Like, I also talked about, like, how life will never be easy, but you can make it easier to deal with. And I think, like, that's been a motivator too for me, to get out here and get fit and stuff. Like, the military is not for me anymore. Like, I'm not, like, I don't know how well this is going to be received, but I don't care. Like, part of confidence, this is what I believe in. I don't see sides anymore. I see people hurting people, and I don't like it. And I think a lot of people will get that and get what I'm saying, but there's some people that might think what I have to say next is, like, makes me a coward or a traitor, and that could be further from the truth. But I don't see it Russians versus Ukrainians, or NATO versus Russia, or NATO versus China. Like, I just see people versus people. I see the governments. It's the governments versus the governments, and they're just using, like, it's been the story as old as time, right? Like, I'm not saying anything new here. But yeah, like, those of you that don't get my hatred of government and or think I'm too extreme with that, it's like, my government, and I'll say this, and I believe this, and you guys can disagree all you want. I'll give a crap. I don't care. Why am I gonna fight for a government that hates me, right? For like against another government that also hates me, but against people that don't know me, that they just want to live their lives like I do. Like, it's not going to be the CCP or Justin Trudeau fighting each other. It's going to be me, some guy that just wants to be left alone, garden and hunt and spend time with my friends and build stuff. I love building things. It's going to be me, or people like me, not going to be me because I'm not doing it, people like me versus people like that just speak a different language. I said I'm only going to talk about this if we don't dread, and here I am like... But no, yeah, like I don't see it as West versus East or NATO versus... I just see people versus people, and I don't like it. And like I said, this is not some deep, hidden, profound knowledge. I think it's something we all know, but we don't... There's so many good things that we all know and think about and think we understand, but we never implement it. Maybe I just got to keep repeating it, and other people got to keep repeating it, and then maybe some more people will get it. And maybe there's going to be some people that hear that everything I just said and fundamentally disagree. Tell me. You can tell me you think I'm a coward, but trust me, I don't like hurting people. But when my family and my friends and my community is on the line, like, I don't like it. I don't want to do it, but, you know, God forbid, unlikely scenario happens where there's foreign soldiers on Canadian land. Like, if Justin Trudeau hasn't taken all the guns by then, I'll be there with like, if he has taken the guns, I'll go there with my son's, what are they, the Daisy, the BB gun, and a boot knife. I don't care. Like, I'm gonna protect my family and my community. But there's so much more going on. So the whole reason I wanted to talk about this is because all of a sudden the narrative changed, where the news was constantly telling us, be nice to China. We want competition, not conflict, and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, I think it was like 2 days ago, it's like, oh yeah, China's the bad guy. Everybody needs to hate China. We've all been told since, I'm like Canadians and Americans, like we've been told since we were kids, and our parents, like the Russians were the bad guy, and my best friend now is a Russian. I'm like, oh, that's a bunch of BS. It's people, guys. The bad guys are the government. Your government is the bad guy, not the Russian government. The Russian government and the Chinese government, they're the bad guys to the Russian and Chinese people. Our bad guys is our government. If there's anybody here that's still got a delusion that the government cares about you because, they'll take a little bit of tax dollars from somebody and toss them your way, you think they're going to give a crap about you when there's none of that coming in anymore? And again, because this is stupid 1-minute clips and stuff, like my other video I talk about, there's some good, people got to remember that, hey, government is firefighters and police and soldiers, and in some cases doctors, nurses, that's technically government too. I'm not saying everybody's bad. I'm saying the guys that want to take all your money, say it's going to help you, and then just dump it in another country, or want to take stuff away from you because the people who vote for them are afraid of it. And I'm not even specifically talking about guns. This could be a whole other discussion, but hell, if you want, I hate sugar. I hate alcohol, right? They're poison. But if you want to poison yourself, this is the conversation we had with Vitaly about drugs and stuff. As long as you're not hurting other people, I know it's not really a strong Christian stance, but as a freedom oriented mindset, have your damn sugar. And have your, don't let, why are people letting the government tell them? Either they're letting them flat out say no, or they're accepting when the government tries to make it harder for you to get things. Who the hell are they? They're not your mom. They're not your dad. You're an adult. Stop rooting for, we got so distracted and so back to the whole division thing. Because my whole, like, I'm trying to unify people, right? I like stop letting them divide us. Like the guy with the blue background or the guy with the red background, they hate you guys the same. They don't care if you're voting for them. They don't. You think this is gonna give me a lot of heat, but do you think Americans, do you think the Republicans actually care about you and your rights? They're just as crappy as the Democrats. They're just more secretive about it. They put on a better face. But look at it. Look at their fruits, right? Like, what do they produce? Like, they say they want to protect your rights and your freedoms, but then the second they get in, they start picking away at stuff. Like, how many Republicans are pro, what's that freaking law? The red flag laws, right? Or how many of them keep saying stupid stuff about, man, it's too early for this. And like, I'm talking like, I want people to talk back. Maybe I'll start doing more lives because I want feedback too. Because I know how this, like a lot of the stuff, when I post it, it's not going to have the context. It's not going to have anything. And people are just like, you're an idiot. I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah. But this is, funny enough, this is part of confidence. There's two reasons why I didn't want to talk about this stuff. It's like, I didn't have the confidence. Plus I just don't want people to dread. Like, I'm not saying any of this stuff to dread. The whole point, right? I don't think any of this is hopeless. If I thought this is hopeless, I wouldn't say, hey, start working on yourself, working on your family, working on your community, because it'll better your country in the long run. If I thought it was pointless and helpless, I wouldn't be out here saying this. Like, it's really up to us. Like, if you're like me and you can't help yourself and you just keep going to find out, like on the news, to find out what's going on, all the bad things that are going on, let it motivate you. Okay? Like, that was what I was doing wrong for years. I was letting it bring me down and change my mindset in a negative way. And now I'm flipping that around. Part of this whole exercise, this whole journey, flipping my mindset, off-grid your mind, right? That's what that's about, if you didn't know that. Changing your mindset. So if you see all that stuff, or you hear me, if some people don't listen to the news that watch this, I know, like personally, I know people that watch this that do not pay attention to the news, and that's awesome. But I also don't want people to be ignorant to what's going on, right? So maybe I can find a way to talk about what's going on in a way that isn't framed like we're all gonna die, because that's how it's framed. It's either framed like you're all gonna die, go like nothing matters, nothing's like all nihilism, or it's like we're all gonna die, go spend all your money. It's like they're trying to get something out of you, or go vote for this guy because he'll do this thing to stop this thing. Like, no, it's BS. It's those guys that got this ball rolling. That's the case for so many things. Like, there's so, like, some people don't get it. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's talk about it. But I find it amazing when government's like, hey, vote for us to fix this problem that we created. And don't go and say like, oh no, it was this side that created it, this side's trying to fix it. They're the same. They're the same. How are you not getting this yet? Sorry for... Maybe I need to be humbled. Maybe somebody in here knows better than me. Tell me why I'm wrong. Because I'm here to learn. I'm here to encourage people to learn. I'm here to learn myself. I feel like I need to go back a little bit about the yes and no thing, because it was supposed to be reversed of what I did today. It's supposed to be mostly talking about confidence and when to say no and when to say yes, and then a little bit of everything, like about the wars and like I said. So maybe we see full on World War III kind of situation. I personally don't think so, but I've been wrong about so many things like that. Like, I was one of the people that's like, oh yeah, Russia's not going to invade. And then they did. Like, right now, I'm like, yeah, China's not going to invade. And like, watch me be wrong. Taiwan, I mean, like, watch me be wrong about that too. I hope I am not. But, and then, because like the next thing I'm saying is, oh yeah, nobody will ever use nukes. Mutual assured destruction is a good theory. And like, so hopefully my wrong streak is done. But yeah, best case scenario, we're in a second Cold War, right? Like now all of a sudden the narrative's changed. Like it's okay to hate China now. I'm not saying it's okay to hate China. That's what they're saying, right? Which means if people think it's hard now, like if it's hard to afford things and stuff now, just wait until this Cold War starts to roll up, like ramp up, and sanctions start going everywhere. And don't dread. I know it looks like I'm sitting here dreading, but I'm not. It's not hopeless. Focus on you. Let this stuff motivate you. You know, if you've been putting off getting in shape, or even if you just had a thought like, I wouldn't mind, being a little more fit. Just let it all just go. Let's do it. Even if you think, or the world tells you, people are telling you that it's just vanity, like reasons, like who cares? Go with that. If you want to get fit to impress a girl or a guy, like go for it. Let's go. Let's work on this together. If you want to get fit because you want to, be able to keep up with your kids, that's awesome. Let's do it. Like I can't remember actually, because there's been so many. There's been so many times where just like, I'm sick of this. I'm gonna get fit. And I'm gonna do it. And then what would happen is I would hit too fast, too hard with no information, and then I would quit. So go to my other videos. I'll briefly touch on it right now. Like if you're ready to take that step and let's start out slow. Figure yourself out. Find out what works for you, what keeps you motivated, Find people that want to see you succeed and talk to them. And those people, I'm talking to those people that so if somebody comes to you, like, come on, like help them. Like it's not going to be fun or easy for either one of you, but it's going to be worth it. In the future, you is going to thank you, and you guys will probably, like whoever you people are, like you're going to be stronger bond, or whatever your relationship is. It's going to make you guys stronger with your friends, relatives, spouse, whatever. It'll be good for everybody. So I think this is a good way to end it. I went into that little whole thing about the conflicts and stuff. This is a good strong way to end it. Like just after this video, whatever I keep saying that I'm going to end it and I think of something else to say, but if anything, like I don't care if you watch my videos. If you see me upload a new video, let that, like, okay, you don't have to watch it. Just go like, oh wait, let's go for a walk. Let's go for a run. Let's do a push up. Like even if I can help just that way, you see that I'm consistently uploading, and whenever you see it, like, oh, I'm gonna go eat an apple. I'm gonna go do a couple of squats. Go for a walk. Put my video on and go on the treadmill, bike, whatever you got. Just move. And use whatever motivation you have, just focus on it. If it's your kids, like I hear some people, and I've been reading like feel good stories about people that were out of shape and like they couldn't keep up with their kids. And that hurts me, and for them and their kids. But anyway, I'm gonna end it now. Have a good day, everybody. Go move. Go do something.